Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I hope everyone is doing okay and having a great Independence Day weekend. So I thought might be a good time to kind of catch up on like some minor details regarding taxes and things like that. So the title of this is called a high yield tax shield. Now, sometimes when you're investing in like some of these high yield option ETFs, there's going to be like losses, and sometimes people fall in love with their investments, but it's not a good idea. I think in order to help prevent future problems, I think it's good to always have like your stop out points ready to go. You want to have actually plan it out like before actually placing your entry orders, because you want to prevent losses from piling up and getting out of control. And it's also a good way to maintain discipline by locking in some capital gains for the future. Remember, stop orders don't always have to be like stop losses. You can actually use stop orders. You can actually move your stop orders up like as your investments go up, so to help lock in your gains as well. So no investment or trade lasts forever, because the landscape keeps changing. Like for like right now, even though it's been a pretty good year, and consequently volatility is rather low. So some of these high yield option ETFs, I guess, like when things get rocky again, you could encounter losses. So you want to always periodically reallocate your portfolio. And I think like some people just in general just hate taking losses, but it's better to take a small loss now rather than like a big loss later in case you have any. And I think the other reason like people hate like taking losses or like kind of like managing their portfolio, they hate short-term capital gains tax. But hey, you know what? If you're making money, it's better to actually pay the tax, even though it's annoying. Uh, at least in my mind, it's better to pay a short-term capital gains tax rather than taking a huge loss. And then like some people like they wind up taking like turning like big winners into small winners, or even worse, like they actually turn into losers. It's one thing to remember about like high yield distributions is that they're generally speaking like they're going to be taxed at your ordinary income rates, and as far as I know, I haven't seen any that qualify for like the lower qualified dividends tax rate, usually like around 15%. So just to keep in mind, like most of your returns could be in the form of a distribution or a short-term capital gain or loss later in the year. And then just as a joke, people ask all the time, like, why is the tax form in the U.S. Called a 1040? So for every $50 you make, you get to keep 10, and the IRS takes 40. And I just want to just remind people, like, even in like good times, you most likely will have like some losers here and there, and that's okay. These things happen. Not everything works out as you hope. But it's always good to like take some of these high yield losers and use them to your advantage. You can actually just take the loss or waiting for your stop order to get hit, and then you can take those short-term capital losses and offset them with any like short-term capital gains I might have. Like so, for example, I like to use as cash secured puts either on ETFs or stocks. And most of the time they're going to be like 1 month or less, so it's going to be like a short-term capital gain. So you can take like say for example, if you got stopped out of maybe like a Tesla or ARC or whatever, you can use that to kind of offset your other short-term capital gains. And just as a kind of mini case study, early in the year, I made a video that saying I got stopped out of triple QY for a small gain and Tesla for a small loss. So this is like one way to do it. Like sometimes now in this case, they got stopped out like around the same time, so I was able to kind of like to offset it like cleanly. And then just like for the future, I think around like maybe Q3 or Q4, most likely I'll also get stopped out of Ulti, and then I'll see at the time like what kind of gain I can offset this with. Usually, what I like to do is like if I see like a winner that hasn't quite reached up to like its full potential, I'll just like take take the small gain and just like run with it. This way I can let like the big winners like kind of like ride, because I like to kind of have like big winners just like psychologically too. And so like I think like so far in 2024, I think most people are having a pretty good year. You're probably sitting on some nice gains. So you might want to like go through your portfolio and kind of trim some winners to reallocate to better opportunities, whether it's high yield ETF funds, or maybe it's an AI related name, or maybe it's some crypto, or whatever you think will do well going forward. And it was also like a good way to take some money off the table. This way you can have some funds ready to kind of pay your quarterly estimated taxes. Because I like to the fact that I mean, even though taxes are annoying, at least we had the option to kind of split it up quarterly, so that like you don't have to worry about it at like the end of the year or like in early 2025. So I hope you like this type of content, and hopefully you can subscribe as well. Super thanks are always greatly appreciated. So thank you everyone for watching, and I hope people make some good money out there. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye now.